Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to NBA Got Game TV, and like always, thanks for tuning in. In today's video, I'm going to take a look at 5 NBA players who weren't the best in their draft class, but for whatever reason, they got picked pretty high by their team, which didn't turn out too well. But before we start with this video, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Also underneath the video, you will see a link to my Facebook page. Like I said, really appreciate it. And I would say without any more blah blah, let's start the video. We're going to start off our list with Kwame Brown. That guy really had a tough time in the NBA. When Michael Jordan was sitting in the front office of the Washington Wizards, many people were curious about how would Michael Jordan perform at the NBA draft. The 2001 draft class wasn't the best anyway. But still, there were some great players like Tyson Chandler, Paul Gasol, Joe Johnson, and Zach Randolph in that draft class. Despite having some sure alternatives, MJ took the gamble and drafted the high schooler Kwame Brown. At the end of his career, Kwame averaged 6 points and 5.5 rebounds.
With the first pick in the 2001 NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select Kwame Brown from Lynn Academy, Brunswick, Georgia.
He was the #1 overall pick in the draft by your Washington Wizards. Did you think at this stage there would be more progress?
Kwame Brown is just being a disaster out there.
Kwame Brown, arguably the biggest bust in NBA draft history.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
Let's hit you with some basketball. In the meantime, lots of nervous NBA general managers out there because the 2011 Kwame Brown lottery is tonight, which will determine who is saddled with Kwame's perennially disappointing numbers and bad attitude next year. Of course, the Bobcats lost last year, forcing them to waste a roster spot that could have been used on a player who doesn't regard the game of basketball as beneath contempt.
The NBA's bottom 9 teams represented here tonight. And just moments ago, the deputy commissioner announced the final 3 teams of the running for Kwame.
The Sacramento Kings.
The Kings.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
The Timberwolves.
Philadelphia 76ers.
And the 76ers.
Brutal news for those 3 teams. Wouldn't be surprised if the loser just folds up the franchise.
You're going to get torpedoed either way. Don't give Kwame the satisfaction.
No doubt.
Good dome fact, though, I find it hard to believe Kwame would apologize for anything.
Yeah, probably passive-aggressive and unfeeling, knowing him. All right, welcome back to sports, which are housed exclusively in this dome. Right now, they're ready to announce which NBA team will be the loser of this year's Kwame Brown lottery. Our OSN team is standing by live. They're waiting on us, so let's go.
Welcome back. 2 of these 3 teams will walk away winners tonight. The other will be burdened with human garbage, Kwame Brown. Without further ado, in the 2011-2012 season, Kwame Brown will be playing for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Brutal news for the Wolves. Minnesota understandably devastated. Let's take a look at the reaction from Kelly's Bar in the Twin Cities.
And the next player on our list is Darko Milicic. Every time you have a top 10 or a top 5 worst busts in NBA history, Darko's name pops up. Joe Dumas was a fantastic general manager, and he helped turning everything around for the Detroit Pistons. But in 2003, it didn't go that well. The draft class of 2003 had some of the best players in the last decade. Guys like LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwayne Wade, just to name a few. But even though the Pistons had the chance to build a dynasty in adding a Carmelo Anthony or Dwayne Wade to their roster, Joe Dumas went for Darko Milicic, and it didn't turn out too well.
In the NBA, where one star player can change the balance of power in the league, fortunes rest on the bounce of a ball.
The 2003 draft was viewed as a 3-person draft with 3 franchise-changing players, and that would be LeBron James, Darko, and Carmelo.
The 2003 NBA Draft Lottery was one of the most anticipated draws in history, with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Denver Nuggets owning the best odds to win a highly coveted #1 pick.
The draft lottery had a lot of intrigue because somebody was going to get their hands on LeBron James.
The 3rd pick goes to the Denver Nuggets. The second pick goes to the Memphis Grizzlies. And that means that the first pick in the 2003 NBA draft goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers.
When the picks just came out, I just kept praying about which team I was going to go to.
The Cavs won, and so did the Detroit Pistons, who received the Grizzlies pick to complete a trade. But instead of locking on Carmelo Anthony, the Pistons fell in love with a mysterious Serbian teenager named Darko Milicic, who president of basketball operations Joe Dumars and his staff discovered during a chance meeting in New York City 8 hours earlier.
We were using John Jay University's gym for our draft preparation. By coincidence, the Pistons were there that day purely because they were playing the Nets in the Eastern Conference Finals later that evening.
I just remember going over and talking to Joe while the Pistons were still in the shoot-around and telling him that I was watching Darko shoot on the other side.
Coaches and staff of the Pistons started just naturally filtering over. More and more people started watching.
I remember personally being wowed by the workout and having Dumars turn to me several times, just in awe of what he was seeing from a kid that was 17 years old.
You can end the suspense now. Darko Milicic ring a bell to you?
I've heard of him, and he or Carmelo Anthony would look good in a Piston uniform. I'm gonna be politically correct here, and either one of them would do well with us.
It's Darko, folks.
And the next player on our list is Darius Miles. Miles entered the 2000 NBA draft and was selected by the Los Angeles Clippers as the 3rd overall pick, at the time the highest a player ever been drafted directly from high school. And in high school, Darius was spectacular and showed high potential. But just because Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant worked out doesn't mean that every successful high school player is a sure thing. Even though the draft class wasn't the best, it had many players that would have been a sure thing. Darius Miles had to retire in 2009 and never fulfilled his high potential. And the next player on our list is Sam Bowie. Sam Bowie is actually one of the players that I feel really sorry for. Why? He was drafted in 1984. Yes, the guy behind Michael Jordan. The 1984 draft class is one of the best ever. Players like John Stockton, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, and Hakeem Olajuwon, just to name a few. Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer. In a time where bigs dominated the NBA, Sam Bowie was an outstanding college prospect. But even in college, he missed many games due to injuries. So when the 1984 draft happened, everybody was expecting Michael Jordan to go second. But the Portland Trailblazers took a huge gamble.
Jordan, he came in and took the league by storm his rookie year and never stopped.
I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I look in the box scores and I'd see where I had 11 points, Michael had 60, and people say, wow, they had a chance to draft Jordan and they took Bowie.
As much of the sports world knows, Jordan won 10 scoring titles and 6 championship rings with the Bulls. By comparison, Bowie was a monumental bust for the Blazers, spending much of his 5 seasons with them on the injured list.
His injury record was really scary. He'd missed 2 full seasons with injuries, but they had to know they were taking a gamble with his brittle bones.
There was always something brittle about Sam Bowie's game, and a guy with those kinds of physical ailments is almost by definition going to be brittle.
Jordan had this great career, and Sam Bowie had almost an injury-prone, non-existent career. The public feels that if we had Michael Jordan, would we have won 6 championships?
Michael Jordan in Portland, everything would be different here.
And the last player on our list is going to be Shawn Bradley. Actually, another player that I really feel sorry for. Bradley entered the professional ranks as one of the most intriguing and highly debated prospects in the history of the NBA draft. Supporters claimed his tremendous size and surprising athleticism would allow him to dominate the NBA. However, critics argued that he would struggle in the NBA due to the fact that he was really skinny, as well as his lack of experience because he just played 1 year in college, followed by a 2-year hiatus from the sport due to his church mission. But still, the Philadelphia 76ers took the gamble, and instead of drafting Penny Hardaway, they drafted, well, Shawn Bradley. Hey, and thanks for watching this video. We really hope you enjoy our content, and if you'd like to support our channel, you can do these things. First, subscribe to our channel and click the notifications button so you will always be up to date when we upload a new video. And also check out our Facebook page. You will find the link underneath the video. Likes are very appreciated. Thanks a lot.